All right. Hey, welcome to the Blue York One Supporters Group family meeting. My name is Mike Andrew. I'm the host today. Would like to introduce our panel and thank them for all joining us. Today we have Alex Schaefer. He's representing the third rail. Alex, say hi to everybody. Why don't you
Hello,
let them know what you
everybody.
do?
I am the director of business operations for Third Rail, but what I usually do is TIFO. So I do all the TIFO for Third Rail.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Next we have the Blue Ladies. We have Kaylee and Emma. They missed the last meeting, but they were there for the first one. So welcome back, ladies. Thanks for joining us again.
Hi.
Next, we have Elliot Mott from Los Templados. Elliot, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Just sharing stuff on Facebook, and hopefully everybody can watch. So whoever's watching now, share with your friends.
And then we have Nick DeRoma from Bronx Football Social Club.
How's it going, guys? I hope everything's going all right. Hope you're having a great evening. Let's party.
And then we are waiting for Erwin to join us from Hearts of Oak. He will be joining us a little bit later, but we thank you all for taking part in the meeting today. So, it's coming to the midway point of the second season of the group. It's the July 3rd game versus Red Bull will actually be the 17th game of the season. We'd love for you guys to kind of share with us a year and a half into NYCFC's career, how you guys are as far as supporters groups and where you guys see yourself as far as the progress you've made from last year to this year. So, Alex, why don't we start with you in the third rail and let us know how you guys are doing.
Yeah. So I mean, Third Rail is kind of
Yeah, Alex, we have a bad signal with you. You keep dropping off.
I
Why
mean,
do we?
I was seeing who they say. Uh,
Remix.
No, all right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we
Transitioning to finding. Can you hear me?
the signal is really weak. You keep dropping off. We've got about 3 of the last 10 words you said.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Good.
Uh, Good.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. So third rail in the beginning was like I guess the original uh group. Now everything's changed. Now there's a lot of groups, a lot of different people doing a lot of different things. So right now where we are is find out what type of support group that we're gonna be. Like what our main activities are gonna be. We have we have some strengths like the TIFO and some of our like management stuff, and we're just moving along, finding who our core members are uh, as dope as they can be.
Well, we appreciate you for that. I will admit it was a little bit tough to get that last bit out, but thanks for joining us. I will say that in talking to other members from the third rail, they wanted to make sure that there was a distinction between official and officially recognized. So they
Uh,
didn't want me to think that it was that they were one and the same.
yeah, I mean, any talk like that in terms of like what type of supporter you are, I don't know, I think that's unhealthy for everybody. And in terms of being unofficial, that's some garbage that the front office deals with. But in terms of like actual supporter, it shouldn't matter to anybody.
All right. Well, I'm glad to you have that point of view. Ladies, how about talking about to us about the Blue Ladies? Where are you guys a year and a half into the season or into the lifespan of your group at NYCFC?
Pretty good. We're vastly different than last year.
Yeah. Last year we were.
Last year it was a social club. You know, I guess it started off as like a common group, just to meet in the actual, supporters section of the club itself, and then time went on. We really wanted to weed out what was going on. We didn't, we're here for the team. Yeah, we might like people that are, social and whatnot, but we're still here for the team. So we had a very large cleanup, and here we are. Supporters group. Yeah. Doing whatever. Important team. Irma is in Seattle right now with Katie. Shout out to Irma. Also, shout out to Brendan. That poor little man. He just wanted to sleep with a Colombian. Shout out to Brendan.
Elliot, how about yourself? How's Los Templados doing in their in the middle of season 2?
We are chilling, man. To be quite honest with you, I think the first time that we spoke, actually since we started, the number that I got that we're up to right now is maybe about 50 in total templados. Over the past season, we've I think introduced 2 or 3 new guys. So we're really trying to like get out there in that sense. But all of us is just basically our deal. We're trying very hard to. I think we've gotten a million times better with the drumming and how that's gotten together with everybody. We've gotten a lot better in uniting ourselves to be a stronger unit, so that we can convey information to everybody else. Our social medias have been kicking into high speed. So in terms of updating with that, we are constantly posting on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on the Twitters. And we're trying our best to reach out to as much people as we can, and it has been working. Most recently, we've been working with New York City Supporters Club to try to get people more connected and united. So we're working with them to connect with them and unite with them. And I think they just, I think that's very successful right now. So this Saturday for the watch party, I think a bunch of us are getting together. So it's a lot of getting everybody together to make it stronger. I think it's been working. So kudos.
So let's welcome to the call Erwin. Erwin is representing Hearts of Oak, and Erwin, we didn't get a chance to do your mic check, so let's hope everything's good and solid on your side. But tell us where you guys are a year and a half into the career.
Mic check 1 2. So Hearts of Oak is doing very well in terms of the status quo. For those of you who aren't familiar, we hang out at Yankee Bar and Grill. Currently, we're in the middle of putting together a team for the South Bronx United Supporters Cup, and I think we just finished raising money for that. And in addition, we have 50-50s every match that in which 50% of, or the other 50% is going towards South Bronx United to help sponsor one of the youth teams. So doing a lot on the community service front, and trying to hold it up in the stands, even though recent form has been rough as of late. But yeah, it's been a rough season so far, and we'll pick it up, and that's how it is. Cheers.
And then last but not least, Nick, how you guys doing? How's Bronx Football Social Club?
We haven't really grown since the first year. But that's a good thing. We've kind of had a very specific niche of people that we like to hang out with and like to sit in our section and be in our group, and we've kind of acquired that all throughout the first year. And we all moved our seats to 234. I sat in 236 last year. There are a couple other people that sat in 236. So our numbers in 234 have grown exponentially from last year to this year, but the amount of members in the actual group has been pretty steady. We're a pretty selective group, but we're loyal as all hell. So we're here for the team, but we love getting a nice drink before. That's it.
Let's talk about a specific topic because we've heard a lot of mention about the team being away in Seattle, and I want to talk about the away activities. For the most part, the support has been pretty positive and pretty peaceful, but we've had some issues with away groups. I obviously when you're dealing with so many people traveling and they're not all represented by people here. Have you had specific conversations with anyone in your group that's gotten involved in a altercation while they've been traveling with the team, supporting the team on an away trip? I think Philly would be the one of the probably the most clearest examples where there was all that bottle throwing in between the sections. But there's been reports from a lot of the away games. So, Alex, I'll start with you in the third rail. If you've heard anything, if it's been discussed.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be the away game that got most talk. I mean, in my mind, it was like a toxic environment with the way like section was situated, how we had Philly fans everywhere, and also how we were losing so bad. Like by the time it was like the 60th, 70th minute, like the game was over. There was nothing going on, so people turned their attention to what was near them. Yeah, I mean, and then it got a little out of hand with the bottle throwing. But yeah, that's it.
Kelly, how about or Emma, from the Blue Ladies perspective, have you guys had to deal with any issues where members of your group have come back and discussed problems that they've had?
Um, not really.
Not really.
I mean, when we were in Philly, uh, me and her had went up to the top because I don't remember why.
I puked.
Oh, she puked. Whatever.
So,
So we ended up sitting up at the top, and some of the other blue ladies that were there followed us. Probably like 5 minutes before that altercation happened.
but we got a full nice.
We got
view
a
of
nice
it.
view. We know who threw the first beer. So, anyway,
Who was it?
not saying Westchester. So, um, as soon as everything happened, I mean, you probably shouldn't be throwing shit. Probably shouldn't be ripping shit off of people. I mean, if somebody touched anything that was on me, even if they were one of our supporters, I would clock the shit out of them. So you should probably not do that to begin with. But as soon as everything started happening, I saw like my friends sitting down there, so, like specifically Alexis, and he was, I just went down there to check up on him, and then it ended up being, people that I really like, and Templados and hooligans, they had beer thrown on them, and I'm not saying they're not to blame for anything because everybody's to blame if, things are going on all sides, but it was mostly just calming everybody down and getting them to chill the fuck out because sometimes a woman's tender touch stops the madness.
So, you mentioned taking stuff off of people, and one of the best examples of that is the Cosmos and the issues that happened both last year and this year with scarves being stolen. And I know that they're not the only group who does that, but as we look at this issue, keep in mind we don't have to just specifically talk about Philly. So, Elliot, why don't we move over to Los Templados, and can you talk to me about any issues that you've had with violence or altercations?
Yeah. So we have a belief in Templados that we are for NYCFC. We are for helping out to strengthen and unite our section. But with the way we are and the way things happen, and the way we represent ourselves, and we conduct ourselves, there has been altercations. However, I just wanted to make it 100% clear that we don't start anything. We don't try to start anything. We don't go looking for trouble. Things happen, and unfortunately, during the Cosmos game, we had an issue where a shirt of ours was stolen from the opposing team and the opposing group that was over there in the Cosmos. Long story short, honestly, I really can't talk a lot about it just because I wasn't really in the thick of it since I was just busy playing a drum. But the long and short of it is that there was a scuffle, and eventually we got our shirt back. And happy ending. The day was saved. But in any case, it's a thing of us that we don't, and I'm sure with anybody else, I'm sure with no disrespect to Heart of Oak, but I'm sure with you guys too. Anytime that if they take something of yours that represents you and use it in a negative way, makes you look bad. It's kind of like a high in your face type thing, except on steroids, a million times more. So it's something that we try very hard to hold on to our stuff and keep on to our stuff, but things happen. At the end of the day, even in Philly, it wasn't our fault in Philly. They threw our bus right next to the supporters section in the Philly. No, not Philly. In Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, so I'm taking it way back. But it just goes to show you that things happen, and unfortunately we're at the wrong place at the wrong time. But we're first and foremost we're there for the team. We're not about violence, and we support the team in a way that maybe other people don't support the team. And because of the way that we conduct ourselves, things fall upon our shoulders, and we have to deal with it the way we do. You're not gonna if somebody punches you in the face, we defend ourselves. So this is how we work it. But we reject the violence. So it comes to us, but we definitely defend ourselves. But we don't go looking for trouble in the end. Perfect example was the Cosmos because we went to retrieve what was ours, but then afterward we didn't go looking for trouble. We went straight home.
So, Erwin, before I get you to comment on it, one of the things I do want to say, if people are watching live, and we appreciate the support, and they're watching, if they want to communicate, either tweet at Blue York One, or you can tweet at Blue City Radio, or if you know any other of the other handles that are out there, feel free to join the conversation. We'll get your comments included. So, Erwin, talk to me about Hearts of Oak and what issues you've had, if you've had to deal with any members for getting involved in altercations on away trips.
We've recently ratified double fisting your Roman night. Our group has recently ratified a code of conduct, ultimately renouncing violence. That reserves the right for us to defend ourselves, but we won't actively go out and seek any trouble. Any sort of issues that you or the audience or any of the other groups that may have heard of anything regarding Hearts of Oak, everything is taken care of internally, and it's something that we take care of in the group, and we've been self-policing ourselves. I'm sure you guys remember issues from Philly, and may have heard things from other matches, but everything is taken care of internally.
And then Nick, your comment up from you on the away violence and the issues that we've had with away supporters.
Well, we've never really, Bronx Football Social Club's never really been in an altercation with other fans. I mean, there was an incident in Philly where, while all the stuff was going on with the away support, we were in the suite, and people started throwing stuff into the suite, and a guy was pulling at my American flag suit, which I didn't really appreciate. Pretty unpatriotic. But we're all for banter, but we're, like everybody said, we're not actively going out and trying to start altercations, hurt someone, get in any type of violence. I mean, granted, if someone attacks one of my members or one of the people in my group, I feel kind of obligated to stand up for them and defend them, but I'm not going out there looking for a fight, and I know none of my people are either. So, I mean, I think it needs to relax, but at this point, what can you do? You know, there's like a specific few that are causing a lot of the issues. I mean, there was a couple pictures making the rounds from Cosmos, but you know, everyone's got to self-police as hard.
Red Barrel is one of them. Numero uno.
Self-police, right? That seems to be the key message. Is yeah, we can't control people who are in other groups. So let's talk to the positive about the Cosmos and the fact that this was one of the times where all the supporters were in the same section. So I know the third rail had one or two sections by themselves, but it seemed like for the most part, because everything was general admission and it wasn't as spread out as it is in Yankee Stadium, there was a lot more combination of chance or work going on together. So can we talk about what the the positive aspects of being together in a small section? So while we start with Nick, we'll go back with you and we'll go back the other way.
Well, positives of being in a smaller section is at the end of that Philly game, supporter section sounded awesome. I mean, the whole stadium got on board. I mean, 234 will take a lot of that credit because we're right there, and we passed it along to the other sections to our right. But I don't think I've ever heard new Yankee Stadium like that, even for Yankee games. I mean, it was really something to see and witness. I think that was, as far as I'm concerned, that was my favorite moment for following this team in that stadium. I think it was awesome seeing everyone come together while collectively shitting their pants because they thought we were going to give up the lead. It was nice to see the people, really rally behind and support the team. You all were too. I wasn't the only one that was like, wow, we're definitely going to give up the equalizer right here. And 93rd minute corner kick, header, and then break my heart again.
Erwin, why don't you comment?
Yeah, having been at the Cosmos match, it was a wonderful sight to see all the groups together and flags from different supporters groups interspersed throughout the section. So hopefully there's a lot more interaction between the groups. I fully intend on coming out to some of the Templados meetups as the season progresses. Rock on, man. And we just need to realize that we're all supporting the same team. So,
Elliot, you said a lot about the Cosmos already, but any last thoughts on the fact that you had such a smaller section to have to try to unite?
Yeah, I like the fact that we had the smaller section. Everybody was united. It was a mix of everybody. It was we were able to a positive for Templados. We were able to play our drums. So all our drums, the ones that we play for the tailgate as well. So it was a big plus that we were all united in one section, all of us, even the real everybody was there, and we were all able to sound together. I feel that as a final touch to this, I feel like the Cosmos game was a precursor to our Philly game that just happened last week, in terms of supporters, because we sounded, in my opinion, we sounded awesome in the Cosmos, and we just took it to another level when we went back home to the Bronx for Philly. So we were like, wow, we sounded this good in Cosmos, let's bring that back to the Bronx, and we killed it in the Bronx. So that's my last touch on Cosmos.
Ladies, any comments?
We were in the Bronx both times. Moving on. Elliot doesn't think Fordham is the Bronx. I don't blame him.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, that's so true. Touche.
No, I agree with Nick. It was easily, for me personally, the best moment I've had as a supporter for the club. I was also shitting my pants. I had no faith that we would win that game just because of the standings and what's been going on. And shout out to Briant for scoring more for opposing teams than he scored for us. Special shout out to him, fucker. And that was great.
Well, we'll touch on your shirt in a minute, but let's go to Alex and
I'm on it right now.
again the third rail's opinion on what it was like to be in the smaller section and to have a lot more unity between the supporters groups.
I mean, in terms of being the best section that we can, all the groups have to work together, and that's when we sound the best. I think also in terms of when we've sounded the best, I think it's happened to be games where there's kind of where the section isn't full, where it's kind of more the core people that go to every game. Like for Philly, like the stands weren't that like they weren't that packed, but everybody that was there knew the songs and got into it. So for me, those have been the best days when we have like less of the people like the tourists and more the people that know all the songs, and hopefully we can solidify and make it so those big days like at Red Bull when we're gonna have a lot of people that haven't been there a lot. Hopefully we'll be good. We'll sound good enough where we'll sound great during Red Bulls as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it relative to both the Cosmos game and to the Philadelphia game. Cosmos game, there was only 4,500 in that stadium. The capacity was 7,000. So neither supporters group, whether it be the Cosmos or NYCFC, sold out their respective sections. But the same thing with the Philly game. The 1 o'clock start, the supporter section was not nearly as full as it was for previous games, but it was the loudest that I can remember hearing it. And let's talk about Kelly's shirt for a couple minutes because the
Let's do it.
the "Come On New York" chant that closed out that game was epic. It's something that people are going to talk about for in the lore of the team for a while. So let's have a conversation about that. So Alex, let's get your comment on it, and then we'll go back down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it was a special moment. I mean, I think it shows, like, in terms of how loud we are, that the actual game matters. I mean, that was like we had one of our best halves. We scored 3 goals, and then the whole second half we're trying to resist and get out of there, and that's set the tone for everyone to be united and be loud. And then I mean it's just true, like uh, when more the people that are there all the time, more the core people are there, we we sound the loudest. Like it's the same thing with away games. When the away crowd is smaller, they sound louder. So it just that's just how it is right now.
It.
Ladies.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see its origins from the Cosmos game of a lot being more mixed together than they usually are. So definitely when it came to being in the stands for Philly and with the smaller numbers, like we just connected a lot easier and we just kept going with it and we got stronger and stronger and then more sections like started to pick up on that and they got into it. Like I could definitely see what 136. They were like
Yeah.
136 like were the first to kind of like usually they're just like eating and clapping and stuff.
Looking
like,
at us.
holy shit, 136 is doing something. And then obviously we started to hear it catch on. But I think like the fact that we were all kind of bonded a bit better as a sound together, and then we amplified that, just made it spread to the other sections, and now they like fucking get it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say this is just specifically the Philly game thing, but, I mean, it's kind of pissed me off enough that I continuously posted at it whenever I see something about it. Like you can definitely tell, like social media, specifically Reddit, the subreddit, and I think Erwin is on that subreddit. I see him comment all the time.
I'm definitely on there.
The fan, I don't want to say that they're all fans because obviously there's a difference between supporting and then just being a fan. We all know that. They don't understand I guess not, I wouldn't say the importance, but yeah, I guess maybe the reasoning behind, supporting and chanting and stuff, and, to see that continuously just from their perspective when you're supposed to be, I wouldn't say supposed to be, but, it's a completely different kind of league compared to the NFL and to MLS, MLB. And they're not really absorbing the fact that you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. You're supposed to be chanting. I think maybe Philadelphia, the game against them, really helped solidify with some people that, this this is what it is. This is what it's supposed to be. And especially the 1 o'clock game, as horrible as it was, it definitely helped weed out those fans that come into the supporter section that don't know anything, that
They don't want to do it.
they don't want to do anything. So usually, even like night games that are after work or something, it sounds louder when there's half of us than it does when it's full.
Basically, when it's actually just us and
Yeah.
not a bunch of like
They drown it out.
tourists that got their tickets online.
Yeah.
But I even think that last game we had a lot of not regulars in 234, but they picked onto the chants really quickly, and especially at the end. I mean, it seemed like every single person in that whole stadium was ripping it together, and it was really nice to see.
So Elliot, let me go. Oh, ladies, did you have one last comment?
No, just the supporters section. It was kind of empty, but it was.
But I think it just helped it unify
It was nice.
it. So
It was
then
nice.
it carried over to like people seeing a whole unified section are like, look, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like I think more like not regular people see the whole unified section, and like usually we're not chanting together, so it's not a unified sound. So like touristy people won't be like.
You know why? I think it was because Brendan started playing the drums. That really unified everyone in the stadium. Good for him.
I think that was the Gringo rhythm, but just the fact that he was able to keep up the slow it down a little bit. But Elliot, let me bring it to you because Emma made a great point in the chant. It lingered. It stayed around longer, and that's been one of the issues. Is that a lot of the times there's chants that are specific, but they have a short lifespan. You can't do you can't do Hey Baby for 10 minutes. Come On New York, felt great because everyone was able to build onto it. So talk to me about how the Templados reacted to that and what they did to try to support that.
We we talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that it was organic. It was something natural. It was something that happened, that everybody felt. It was emotional. Everybody was jumping and singing and dancing. And I was on the drums. Brendan was on the drums. Pete was even on the drums all the way to the top. And it sounded great. We absolutely loved it. And I feel like personally for me, just to disagree with you and no disrespect, but I feel that if it's so naturally happened that people felt "Hey Baby" and decided to sing that for 10 minutes, then we would go along with it. Just because we're the type of person. I know you're shaking your head because it might not happen, but it just goes to show you that any chant or song that we sing. If it happens organically where it just works for 10 minutes, we're down for it. I feel like in the last episode that we were talking with Erwin also agreed that maybe we should think about singing the songs a little bit longer, and it worked. We sang "Come On New York" and it was for like about 6 or 7 minutes, and it was awesome. And just moving forward, I wanted everybody to know that we're not trying to force anything. That was organic, but I definitely would suggest learning from that and trying to take all the songs that we sing and make them like 6 or 7 minutes long. Other than that, Philly was amazing. Philly and Yankee Stadium was amazing. I have to agree with Alex. It was the core group of supporters that were there. They were not the 1 o'clock game, like Haley said, weeded out the tourists. We shared. It's great. It's awesome when we get a mix of people that play the drums. We had Brendan playing the drums. In the Cosmos game, we had Connor from Third Rail, New Jersey, come and play. He's amazing. But we're trying to get that happening. It helps when other people get involved because that way other people can follow as well. I wanted to shout out two specific people. I wanted to shout out first Dave Moncion from NYCFC because he was the one that initiated, try to spread that chant out, and it was a remarkable experience to be a part of. So shout out to him for that chant. And then I also wanted to shout out Pete because he's watching this as well, and he told me that when he went to Columbus away, it was kind of the same feel. It was about 43 or 44 to 50 of them at most that were supporting NYCFC, and he says it sounded just like it did for Cosmos and for Philly at home. So good job, everybody.
Erwin, let's get your thoughts.
I hate using the word organic because the front office uses it so much, and it's very cringeworthy. But it's the only word that we can use. Hearing that at the Cosmos match was pretty electric, and things like that. Over our first season, I was on Reddit, I was on the forums, and everybody was trying to, everybody was just throwing things into the mix, like we have to sing this, we have to sing that. I think when you try to compare the development of supporter culture in New York City to Seattle or Portland, out in the Northwest, if you try to compare us to England, what they're doing out in Australia, you can't force it. And so what happened over the past two matches with Philly and with the Cosmos is good, and it needs to be cultivated. So the more we kind of take our time and throw things on the wall and see how they feel, and if they feel good being sung for 10 minutes, then great. If it's cringeworthy for 10 minutes, then maybe don't do it again. Maybe do it a little less. It's a very interesting aspect as well. I want to blame the front office and MLS and Yankee Stadium for all of the scheduling mishaps, because we're getting all of these weird times at 1 o'clock on a Saturday. I think when the Derby's next Saturday or next Sunday at what?
At noon.
It's going to be sweltering hot outside, but
yeah, tailgate at 2 a.m.
There we go.
I'm kidding.
But the times don't help. But the people that want to be there, the people that are going to support, are going to show up. They're going to show up in droves. And then when people see the real supporters that want to be there, the quality of the people that are going to be there, they'll be there, I think. And it'll just happen. It's going to take time. I think we spent a lot of time watching football not based in the United States, but maybe based in South America and Europe. I was just like, let's be there. We want to be there right now because that's how most of us are. And it'll take some time, but we're getting there. And it's looking good. It's sounding better every match. And I think we all need to take a look at the big picture because we're only in our second season. So we're getting there. It's cool. I believe in it. Come on, New York.
So, Nick, two things before I get your comments. You, being in 234, I was in 234 for the RSL game, and it is kind of tough to hear the supporter section. So it's interesting to see how you guys interact with the supporters, and whether or not you create your own chants or whether you just support what you hear coming out of their group. The other thing I'm trying to figure out is why you took your shirt off and showed the entire world that you tattooed your armpit. But let's.
Well, this is to honor the truest of true supporters, John Sanchez. So he is obviously number one NYCFC supporter. So if you're gonna do anything, you do it all the way. You don't half-ass one thing; you full-ass the whole thing. So we can actually in 234 we can actually hear the sports section pretty well. I know the acoustics in Yankee Stadium are god awful, but the more unity we have out there, the easier it is for us to pick up. We do have our own, a few of our chants that we have in 234. We actually, in the first half, when we scored the first three, we started a sexy football chant, and for some reason the people in the section loved it. And in the second half, when we started, giving up some ground, this little kid down the row just started looking at me and screaming, but I couldn't hear him. So everyone was like laughing around him and cheering with him. And so I told him to come to our group. And he was chanting sexy football himself. He couldn't have been more than 5 years old. So we brought him to our section and had him start the sexy football chant, and lo and behold, we held out for the win. But as far as chants go and stuff, it really shows the difference a year makes. We've been around for, a year and a few months. But you guys are talking about doing Hey Baby for 10 minutes long. That is literally what we did last March. It was just like we had one or two chants, forcing them out, and then we got bored and we're recycling them and doing them again. But showing how far we've come as a group of supporters, and it's nice to see.
Well, and you guys in 234 have to deal with the tourist issue probably more than the supporters section does.
Yeah, we had we have the back 3 rows off one of the aisles in 234, and someone sold their seats. We don't know who, but there was a family of 4 that were just plopped right in the middle, and they kept asking everyone to see their tickets. And the security supervisors were really tough on making sure we were all in the right seats, which is just something. I don't know if you guys, obviously you guys in the supporters section don't have to deal with that, but we never really had to deal with it in 234 either. But these people sat for the entire game, but we tried to get them involved. It's kind of tough, but we try and we do our best. The people follow suit pretty quickly. We sing Bieber pretty often. We're going to start doing it when you guys do the Rush Hour Rally. But people really enjoy that, and that's a song that everyone hears on the radio about 30 to 40 times a day, so they know all the words and it's easy to sing. So that's one of ours.
So maybe we'll see if that catches on. Let's go to Twitter and let's respond to a comment that came from John Monahan. And we'll go back to Alex with this one, and then we'll go back down the line. It's about the fact that in the Philly game, Pirlo, Lampard, and Villa all scored, but Lampard has been the focus of some negative attention, and he got booed a couple of times. He got booed the first time he came on during Red Bull, and then there was a question of whether or not it was mixed boos when he came on for was it Orlando or RSL? But the question was, are we going to be booing the NYCFC players, or what? Is that something that you guys, when they deserve it, they think they should get it, or what? How do you guys react to that?
Listen, I think that it's not. I feel like we have a right as fans to express how we feel. I don't know if you saw Mexico Chile. They got the same exact score as we did, and to mirror that, and I'm pretty sure Mexicans did their, exercise their right to express how they feel about their team. And so I think it's natural for us as fans to express how we feel when we feel that our team is not doing well, or if a specific player is not doing well. That's what we're there to do. I feel like we're there to convey a message. We're there to support them, but we're also there to tell them, listen, we don't like what you're doing, do it this way. And we're going to do it by, I don't know, singing, Lampard sucks 50 million times. I don't know. It's just an example, right? but I feel that it worked. I mean, personally for me, and maybe I'll get a lot of crap for this, but I think Lampard maybe has gotten a little bit better. The players work hard. The players see how we feel, and they want to make us feel happy because we're watching them. So they'll do what they do when we react. And I personally won't boo Lampard anymore unless he gives me a reason to do so. And I won't personally boo NYCFC unless they give me a reason to do so. So I think it's within our right to express how we feel to our team.
Alex, how about your point? Because I know Kaylee's going to come on after you and tell me how she's going to boo Frederick Briant.
No, I mean that wasn't the booing of Lampard was in the context of the team playing like shit. So he became the symbol of the way the team was playing, and there's always gonna be he's always gonna be have more attention because of the decision he made to stay at Man City. So he'll always be a target, but if the team starts playing better, then there probably won't be any more much booing. But yeah, like Elliot said, I mean, as supporters, we need to be critical when it's important.
Kaylee and Emma, how about you guys? Your thoughts on the booing of NYCFC players?
I mean, clearly, if you think booing is offensive, you've never heard us in the front row. Oh, the obscenities that fly out of our mouths. It just happens in the moment. I will drop bad words that I can't say because it apparently offends women.
Also, apparently, somehow we have not been kicked out.
Yeah, we've never been kicked out for cursing. But, if it comes out of my mouth, it's gonna happen. I can't stop it. I have no filter whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's coming.
No filter. But yeah, like Elliot said, we have the right to express how we feel about a certain player. Lampard, not how.
He's a really messy situation.
Yeah, he's a messy situation.
I cannot blame him for the Manchester stuff. That was CFG. But the hiking the fucking Appalachian, what is it? The Appalachians, taking, I mean, you're allowed to have a life and shit. When people get on the players all the time about having Snapchats, having Instagrams, having all this bullshit, they are allowed to have lives. You don't see me embroidering shit or making t-shirts 24/7. Maybe, sometimes. They're allowed to have lives, they're allowed to do things, but the way that Lampard did those things compared to how, like Connor Brandt has been injured literally this whole time. He played the one game in Chicago last season. He never ever posts things like he never posts. He's with the team. He's posting with the team. Even if he's injured, he's always bonding with his teammates. Even if they're his friends, they're still connecting in some way. Frank Lampard is fucking whacking it at the goddamn Statue of Liberty.
Whoa!
He likes the liberty.
Who wouldn't? But that being said, it's really frustrating.
It's frustrating to see that, I don't know, I know
he scored one goal and he was forgiven.
Yeah.
That he's not gonna be forgiven for.
I think it's just his attitude.
He was injured and he decided to fucking go on a hiking adventure. Why would you do that? You have a leg injury. Let's go hiking, though. That sounds like a great idea.
Let's go hiking on a family trip, not as a thing, with a trainer to be, fixing your.
Oh, and going back to Chelsea, to his doctors there. There's a lot of anger that I have towards him as a player and when he came here, just because how he handled it. David Villa, he was supposed to be what David Villa is. He was supposed to be the focal point of NYCFC. He's not. He's a waste of $6.5 million, and we could have a DP who is basically half his age. that could be much more beneficial to our midfield. That's it.
So, Erwin, before we get your opinion on the issue, I do chime in with Pete Vasquez, who's on Twitter, and saying that Colin Cowherd recently just said that fans need to hold their players accountable. So he supports this type of reaction where you really want to make sure that the players know you're out there and you have an opinion and you're going to let them know how you feel. So how does Hearts of Oak and how do you feel about this? Let's not go too deep into the Lampard issue. We've beat that one to death, but just in general about reacting to the to the team.
I think we are entitled to let the team know how we feel. However, we should be behind the team. Yeah, the derby was a mess. It was a nightmare. We played like trash. But the players feed off of our energy.
Which derby were you talking about? Because they were both not so great.
All of them. Yeah, that completely brought me back to last Wednesday night. The team needs us, as frustrating as it is to watch. I think we need to. I'm going to take the devil's advocate stance, and we need to get behind the team during the matches while they're playing, while they should be busting their humps out on the pitch. After some recent results, not so much. Definitely I think it's well within our right to let them know. Absolutely.
And then Nick, you're the furthest away from the players up in 234, but you still got to have a voice out there.
I feel that this is New York City. We love you when you're winning. We hate you when you're losing. I have no problem with people booing if they're playing like garbage. I boo every time Shelton gets the ball. I think he's absolute trash. But what we've been doing is we've been doing more mocking cheers. So I hate when NYCFC passes back. So every time the ball's with the defenders, we just start screaming, pass it to Saunders. Saunders is open. Number 12, wide open. And then when they finally pass back to Saunders, we go crazy like they just scored a goal. And it happens like 500 times a game. It's mind-blowing. You don't realize how much they pass back until you start cheering for every time they pass back. I think that, as far as stuff like Lampard, he's got to earn it. Like, I'll support him while he's on the team, while he's wearing the jersey. And I'll cheer when he does something good. But it's going to take a little bit more than him just playing some games for me to forget the whole debacle in the beginning. And, he gets some unwarranted shit for what happened. But still, a lot of it was his fault. And, people need to be held accountable for their actions. You can't just keep giving people an out their entire time here. You're getting paid too much money to have an out the entire time.
I'm going to chime in as a healthcare provider and also full disclosure, I'm a Chelsea supporter, so Frank Lampard's a Chelsea legend.
Yeah, Chelsea legend. I want to see him become an NYCFC legend.
I don't.
That's what we're waiting for, right? So as a healthcare provider and as a Chelsea supporter, he set the English League record in appearances for Chelsea Football Club. When you spend that much time at a club and then all of a sudden come to a different setup and then immediately remain injured, there's an issue with the medical staff. There's an issue with the medical team. I don't know if you guys were following. I'm sure you guys were following all of that stuff, but there was an article that quoted Lampard as saying that he had his calf issue was misdiagnosed. There's no way that you spend that much money on a player, on a designated player, and you misdiagnose a calf injury. The physio, the medical staff, the doctor is not doing their job. So I'm going to stick up for Lampard in this situation. With full disclosure, it's not entirely his fault. Yes, it's black and white. It's not exactly black and white. Sure.
I'd boo the trainer if I could, but I can't.
Boo the trainer.
Boo the trainer when he comes out then.
Yeah, I will.
So, so guys, I want to thank you all for for participating. It's we've been going about an hour now, so we're gonna wrap up. But let's talk about something let's talk about it relative to something we just discussed. Red Bull is supposed to be another pretty full game. Yes, the 12 o'clock start could keep some people away. It's going to be 4th of July weekend, so we don't know if people are going to be away. But how do you think, or how are you guys planning on making sure that we are just as loud and just as unified as we were for Philly when the Red Bulls come to town for the next home game? So, Nick, let's start with you and we'll go back down the line. So, Section 234 in the Bronx Football Social Club, what are you guys thinking as you plan ahead for the next Derby match?
I fly in from Costa Rica the day before, so I'll 100% be there. I've talked about it with a bunch of my people, and we're getting numbers for the game. I think that even though it's the day before 4th of July, there's still going to be strong numbers throughout the stadium. I got to be honest, I'm absolutely terrified of this one. They might score 10 on us this time. Who knows? I couldn't have a less positive outlook for a game if I tried. Like, this is like me playing a 2-year-old in FIFA, and the kid will score 10 goals.
Erwin, how about you?
Definitely have a TIFO in store. That's pretty much it. We'll be there.
I do have to ask one question because it came up in conversation. What's the stadium policy for alcohol before noon? I've never been in Yankee Stadium before noon on a Sunday.
I don't know if I can answer that
Do
question.
they have a special exemption? We'll have to find out about that. But Elliot,
They'll
how about
probably
you? I mean,
they'll,
the
they'll,
tailgate's going to be going strong, but doesn't matter what time the game is. The tailgate always goes strong. Oh, we lost Elliot. So let's move over to the Blue Ladies, and we'll wait and see if Elliot comes back on.
How we are helping unify people.
Bam! The
T-shirts.
titties. Oh, I'm sorry. The t-shirts.
The t-shirts. Yeah.
$10 for this t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the t-shirts for when 20 of our fellow supporters got kicked out. I made the t-shirts that say the rules, that we agreed to when we bought supporter section tickets. Basically, just a warning. There's cursing, there's there's rowdiness, there's all of this stuff, and 15 or 20 of our fellow supporters got kicked out, and for the Derby we made shirts. I made them literally that morning that were $5, and everybody wore them, and it was nice. And then, literally the next game, we walk into the stadium and we go to the supporter section, and then they have new signs up now that say no cursing, no rowdiness, no nothing. And it's just like, okay, what the fuck?
So inciting riots.
Yeah, nothing crazy, guys. But
tennis match, guys.
yeah, so we're gonna do these shirts, really simple, really basic. We want everybody to be wearing baby blue, New York City FC blue. It's $10. If you don't have a jersey, you can get a shirt. And I really like this chant. Obviously my favorite chant is the changed Celtic chant, but that's besides the point. This is definitely my favorite chant, though, that we have for the club. So yeah,
Fill out the form.
This is how we're gonna be supporting. Support with us, please.
Yeah.
So
I'm back. I think I'm back.
yeah, you're back. Let's go to
Yeah.
Alex, and then we'll come back to you, Elliot. But we did get a response to our question about the alcohol before noon. Apparently, the stadium has an exemption because Megan Taddeo says that it is available. They'll have the ability to sell it. It is exempt. So Alex, let's talk about Third Rail and their plans for. Obviously, we don't want you to mention the tifo. That's something you want to keep quiet. But at least talk to us about the what you're thinking about the next Red Bull match.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm my rational or the rational part of me is thinking like Nick, like we're it's gonna be tough for us to to win, but in terms of like what we can do as supporters, all we can do is be loud and bring the energy, and hopefully that changes things. Gives people the energy in terms of bringing people together. I think for the tifo, one thing we want to do is try and get everyone involved with the tifo and have people. Just like paint and trace and do those type of simple things, so that when the tifo goes up, that's everybody's tifo.
Oh yeah, Kaylee, just a comment. You have to, if you're gonna model, you have to make noise so the camera goes to you.
Hello! Buy the shirt!
But no, Alex, that sounds great. That
Order
because that's.
people.
Buy
Yes.
the shirt! $10!
10.
But Alex, that sounds great because that's one of the things. The TPO has sometimes been kind of small and
Hi, Mom.
only included a couple of sections. So it's great to hear that you're thinking beyond, outside the box a little bit. But Elliot, Los Templados.
Yeah, my poor computer crashed on me, so I got quickly back on my phone. Yeah, we are gonna be doing the same thing we always do. We're gonna bring our drums. We're gonna make the noise and bring the how do you say, like the carnival. We're gonna bring the noise and the support as we usually do. We're not, personally for me, I agree. I'm a little bit nervous. Um, like they said, they could score more than 7 on us, but we're still going to be there. We're going to do what we can to support as usual. We are being, we're trying to continue with the uniting of the sections. So whatever happened last week at the Philly game, we're going to try to bring that back as much as we can. This Saturday, this Saturday there's a watch party for the Seattle game, which everyone is invited to. We are definitely, when I say we, I mean I will talk to everybody. I really want to make a move so that we can have a big drum practice again before the Red Bulls game, so that we can all be on point with that. And again, everybody's invited to that as well. Erwin, please come. I know you've been talking about coming through, so definitely come because everybody's opinion matters. But yeah, we definitely need to brush up on some stuff. So I wanna make moves. I'm trying to get a practice going, so that by game day, by Derby day, we're ready to go. I think that we did a really good job pre-game tailgate on River Road on the first Derby. So on the second Derby, we should bring more noise and more more stuff. I mean, Pete brought a pinata last time. That was so awesome. And then Templadito was like banging on the shit. It was so cool. But more of that, more of just us. Being us. We need to. I feel like we need to support the team. We need to show the team that just because they lost terribly on the first derby doesn't mean that we're not supporting them for the second, third, and fourth and millionth derby to come. So everybody is invited to the tailgate, to the practice, to this Saturday's watch party, and definitely come through. The events will definitely be posted on Facebook on all the pages, so we'll keep everybody updated. Yes, Kaylee, your shirt is beautiful. I won't buy it though. Han. But yeah, this is what Templars will be doing.
So yeah, and obviously River Road, you mentioned it. If you want to pick up that shirt, you should pre-order it so Kaylee doesn't go absolutely crazy. But it should be available outside the dugout. But guys, that's it's been a great time hanging out with you. I really appreciate it. Closing comments, Alex. You got anything to say as we go through?
I I just want to say, like, so in terms of tifos and banners, I got like one of the things we have is a free gym that we use and a bunch of and a bunch of materials. So if any other groups wants to paint like a banner or whatever, uh, as long as it works the same time availability, then we can get into the gym. It'll probably be easier for other people to get more color in the section, get more banners, because that's what we need. We need more stuff from everybody. So that's definitely available for free. So
Do we get stuff from third rail or no? Because I lost my flag.
I just want a high five from Rocks one time.
uh,
High five, like a stern.
I'm not Rox, so I'm not
Okay.
gonna tell you.
You translate that for him.
Good answer, Alex.
Yeah, I think that's important. If it's a personal issue, let's leave it personal. But as we Kaylee, closing comments.
Buy the shirt.
But what do you you the shirt's going it's $10. What are you guys doing? Is it a fundraising shirt or is it just to cover the costs?
Cover the cost, and then hopefully we're gonna have a giant fucking barbecue at the end of the year with the money.
And yeah, I gotta also say, Alex makes a good point about the tifo. They need help. It's not just it can't be just a couple of people doing the work for the large tifos we see. So if you do have time, try to get into your schedule. Elliot, closing comments for you?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's invited to all the events. There's an event this Saturday in Astoria for the Seattle game away. Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited to the tailgate for the Red Bulls game. Everybody's invited to the drum practice that I'll be trying to help organize before the Red Bulls game. So everybody's definitely invited. I mean everybody. Everybody's invited. In
Is
terms
El
of
invited?
what? Say what?
El Che invited?
Who? Everybody. Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited.
All right, just making sure.
And in terms of support in the sections, I feel that everybody's doing a great job. I feel that we're only getting stronger from here. I love the mix of everybody, playing a drum, and it's not just Templados. Shout out to Connor from TRNJ. Shout out to Dave from NYCSC and Brendan from Who. We'd love to get a mix of people playing the drums because that's the way we get unified. To be honest with you, so I love it. I absolutely love it. Good job, everybody, and let's keep moving forward.
Erwin, sorry. Your closing comments are for tonight.
Come see us at Yankee Bar and Grill. Come on, New York.
Plain and simple.
Straight to the point.
Nick, I was throwing it to you because he had nothing else to say.
I love that sign off. That was awesome. We're at Yankee Tavern before every game. We got some sexy jams going on in there. So Yankee Tavern before the game, come up to 234 and say hello. We're a pretty welcoming bunch up there. Just come. The security never really checks the tickets when you're walking into the section. So just come in, say hello. We're pretty nice. So just come on up, and we'll see you next game day.
Well, guys, thanks again for joining me tonight. And this will be posted on YouTube, so you'll be able to check it out if you want to share with other people and get the message out. And this is something we're going to do monthly, so we'll see you guys in about 4 weeks. So we really appreciate it. Thanks so much, and enjoy the week.
Come on, New York.
Let's go. See you guys.
SC.